Yo, what's happening everybody? Monster Chappie, we in here for some more sim game action, and in this video guys I'm rocking the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Dallas Cowboys, and this one shapes up to be a pretty decent game, pretty good showing by the Eagles themselves. As far as the team breakdown goes, let me just first say their offensive playbook is a lot of shotgun. I think it's just about all shotgun. So, you're going to have to get used to passing and running out of the gun, which isn't too bad because inside zone is pretty much the best run in the game this year, and that's out of shotgun as it is. So, no real big drawback there. But, you just got to be used to being in shotgun for the majority of the game, or, not too much under center. With that said, as far as their defense and offense goes, their defensive playbook, nothing really stood out to me. Just a typical defensive playbook, nothing crazy that, is really worth looking at or talking about. As we're getting spec caught on all the way down the field there, those aggressive catches can be a real pain in the neck, man. It just seems like it bails people out a lot of the times, Nowhere to go, just, all right, let's chuck up a heave downfield and get an aggressive catch on a C route or a corner or a deep post or a streak or something and pick up the first down when they really made a bad read in the first place. But that's neither here nor there. As far as this team goes, DeMarco Murray, he gone. That is the bright spot of the offense, guys. Other than that, there's not too much craziness as far as players that I really enjoy using. It's kind of one of those things like if you are a fan of any of the particular players, you might use the team for that, or you might use the team because you're an Eagles fan. But as far as in a competitive environment and competitive atmosphere, not a team I would recommend using just because they're really just not strong in a lot of areas. There's a lot of other teams that are stronger, but they are, a team that's usable. They're not awful, but again, just not a top-tier team by any means. Defensively, they're just okay. They're not great. They're not really that good. They've got a couple dudes that can make plays, like Kendricks. He's a beast, but as you can see, we're just getting aggressive caught on all over the field, and it just really doesn't matter if my guys are in position or not. But finishing up on what we talked about in the last video with the draft champions, that being the future of the Madden tournaments, as far as the really big major tournaments, the ones that are sponsored by like EA, the Best Buys, and Xbox One, and PS4, or whoever they choose to use the sponsorship. It'll be Xbox One because they got the deal with Madden. But with that said, the other couple things I forgot to mention last time was hopefully, the game mode gets to all Madden. If you haven't played on all Madden much this year, it is a noticeable difference. It seems like a lot of those aggressive catches that you can get on all pro level don't happen as much on all Madden. There's a lot more incompletions with that. And just that small difference, makes a huge effect on the ball game. The other aspect of it is if you're saying these are the top players in the world, they should be probably playing on the highest difficulty setting. That's at least my opinion on the subject. Next thing to mention, which someone did bring up in the comments of the last video, is just making sure the teams are balanced. I know I talked about making sure that you're not drafting the same position over and over, whereas you get, again, 3 options. You pick a quarterback, and then you get a quarterback your very next pick as the only option. So that kind of sucks when that happens. But the other thing is making sure the teams are balanced. You don't want to have one team stacked up with a bunch of legends, a bunch of 90-plus overall characters, and then, you're kind of sitting there stuck with a bunch of mid-80s, maybe a couple 90 overall players going up against a pretty stacked team. So they got to make sure that aspect of it stays balanced. If the team is 90 overall, the other team should be roughly 88 to 92, somewhere in that range, but it shouldn't be a dramatic difference in the players that you have available when you're selecting with your draft. So that's the other thing to touch on as far as that goes. But I still do think this game mode could be and will be the future of the major tournaments because of the reasons we talked about in the last video. And I think it's going to be really good for Madden in the long run. And so the only last thing I would say about this mode is that they do need to change the format of the tournament structure. I think part of it was cool how they brought in some of the top guys and did that aspect of it. That was actually a really good idea. However, the leaderboard system for the majority of us, how we're going to be able to qualify, it's just a little bit, yeah, it's pretty bad. I mean, the only issue I have with it is just seems like it's rewarding you for the amount of games played more so than just winning. So maybe if they did like a bracket or a small entry in a bracket or something like that, pool points, anything where, you know, you're just getting rewarded more so based on skill and winning as opposed to just playing a bunch of games. But other than that, man, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below what you think. And until the next time, it's been real, it's been fun. It's Monster Chappie. We gone.